having me.
Yes. How are you receiving the news from Musa Dankwa in relation to what's happening in Pandai?
Oh, basically, we have always entertained and received intellectual and scholar works to guide our political discourse. And I think Musa Dankwa and his work have been one that, for a few years now have guided political parties, except those who do not want to learn. And so we will continue to be guided by it. But I do know that the election will be dominated by voter education, sensitization on government policy, and reasons why someone should vote one way or the other. And so I know that from now to the day that we would vote, particularly that as we stand, we do not have an MP of Pandai. And the people of Pandai at all times will require representation in Parliament. And also, we all know the deficits in terms of what President Akufo-Addo's government legacies have been to the people of this country. We are also seeing the light of the progress that President Mahama's regime have given this country. The MPP would have to be accounting for what have happened, particularly that Pandai is a rural community. What has happened to the one village, one dam? The toilet that Dr. Baumia claimed to have built in the Zongo communities. One district, one factory. What has happened to Common Fund in the 8 years of their regime? What has happened to the school blocks that they abandoned in the bushes? They would have to account, plus the national political issues, the rule of Kenoforiata, and all of the deficits. We, on the other hand, would have to tell the people what President Mahama have started, the dividends politically in the last 1 year, what Ghanaians have seen. At least the people of Pandai would go to Christmas buying rice at a reduced cost for the first time in 9 years. 8 years of President Akufo-Addo, 1 year of President Mahama. They would see that the dollar rates have come down. In fact, one of the issues that confront us over there is to transport, farm produce to Accra. The drivers last year were having to buy fuel at a higher price or higher cost. Today, it has reduced drastically. All of these farmers will put that into consideration. The MPP will also have to account why they have used fertilizer meant to help support farmers who have suffered drought. Why did they distribute that in election? In their campaign, all of these things have come out of it, and they were accusing themselves. So we would tell the people of Pandai all of these stories. Umaru, you are also aware that politically, MPP's relevance in Parliament is not really as it has to be. Because when it even comes to lawmaking, they are minimal and their relevance is not actually needed. Laws can be made. When it comes to business of Parliament, even if they decide they won't go to Parliament, Parliament can still carry on business. What it means is that Ghanaians have absolute confidence in the leadership of President Mahama. They have absolute confidence in the leadership of the NDC. That is why we've held 2 separate elections post 2024 December. And the NDC have had to win all of those seats. Again, if the courts and institutions of the Republic do not punish the MPP and their appointees for the wrongs they have committed, Ghanaians will demonstrate same when they are given any opportunity at a voting center to express their displeasure. And that will reflect in Pandai. It's unfortunate that my brother Martin Yendam, he may be a good man, but he is a victim of a bad political party and a bad government. Be it as it may, there are 2 concumbents. And we have had to select one who will lead the people of Pandai in Parliament with a high political dividend assurance into their constituency. And of course, you know that it is my brother Insala who will be closer to government, who as an actor of development can participate more than if, Matthew led that constituency. Honorable, the former MP who died, you remember him, who is there for a longer time, Honorable Lepalmo. He led Pandai on a traditional political support base, where he was intervening in the life of the people, small. Honorable Martin Yindam and President Akufo-Addo and their party went there and lied to the people that they could give them heaven and earth And so Lepalmo was old. They should give Matthew, who is relatively younger, an opportunity. They gave him an opportunity. After 4 years, they didn't see anything, even when they were in government, and voted him out. Even as we were in opposition, Nsala was the MP. We knew that they utilized the influence of, my brother Nitiwil from Bimbila to interfere in that election, and we went to court, and we have won. So, for me, in the coming days, we'll be able to overturn the verdict of the polls to make it, scientifically established. And the NDC is going to win that seat, by all means.
But Musa's track record is known and respected, and he has proven that he knows his stuff. If he says that you are trailing, then it means you are trailing based on the historical facts.
He didn't say we are trailing. He didn't say we are trailing.
46%. 46% against 50%.
It's not trailing. What he said is that the preliminary response of his polls suggests that, our brother Matthew of the MPP is leading by 0.4. We have some few days to go, 2-3 weeks. That is why we are vigorously engaging.
So you are planning to overturn that?
We will overturn so by engaging the constituency. We will overturn so by telling our story more. The MPP is in Accra saying that they are not campaigning. They have gone there. They send their former MPs to go and do recognizance. They have engaged the ground. They know that they are losing. Honorable Martin knows that it's not helping him. And we know that the people of Pandai will partner with President John Dramani Mahama, who is a son of Bole, to develop the northern part of Ghana and to develop Pandai. At least we all know that President Mahama is not giving excuse and the reasons why he won't develop some parts of the country, as we experienced under President Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
We all know that. So we are going to partner with the people of Pandai to develop the place. And that means that if elections were held on the 30th, as we are hoping, we will win the seat. Let no one suggest that the atmosphere there is not conducive for an election. It is not true. All that they are doing is project a certain mindset that the people of Pandai are not ready for election. It is a peaceful community. They have coexisted, both NDC and MPP, peacefully. And so there's no trouble there. The chiefs are not siding with any candidate. They are very neutral in everything they do. But of course, they want development. So let nobody come and tell you that any chief is supporting any candidate. It is not also true.
Okay. But just before we go, we may have gone past this, but just to try and make the point, they say that the election should not have happened this period because there's an appeal pending and all of the issues around that. Do you think that if you had waited for later, your chances would be less bright than they are now because you are still enjoying the goodwill?
Be it as it may, the people of Pandai, for no fault of the NDC, is not having a parliamentary representation now. Whatever intents and purposes, the place is an environment for campaign as it is. We have decided to go in good faith and campaign. If the MPP decide to defer, they should wait so that when the court finishes the process, so that they will come and campaign. We are not fighting them. We decided to go on campaign. They can sit in Accra and decide that they will win the election on the day of the election. We are not the same. We are not running the same race.
Very well.
We are going to win, and they are going to participate in an election. We are not the same. And so we are going in there with one faith. Okay. That we are campaigning. We will speak to the people, and I believe that they will listen to us.
Finally, a message just came that I have to share with you. Your brother Isaku Bigbene from Upper West, he used to be MPP, but I think now he's shifting to NDC. He says I should ask you that if it is true that you said that MPP instigated the bees that attacked the NDC members in Kpandai. I thought he was joking, but I've just Googled it and I've seen a number of portals reporting. 3 News says MPP orchestrated bee attack on NDC executives in Kpandai. That's Gbandi alleging. Modern Ghana, Kpandai rerun, fatal bee attacks on NDC supporters orchestrated by MPP, and so on.
If you were living up north and you lived in that constituency, just as I grew up partly there, and Martin know that he's my brother, that is where we all grew up, you will understand what I'm talking about, and you will know that we are not talking from insanity, but reality. And I've made that point vehemently very clear, which I won't repeat again. The MPP should be explaining to the people of Ghana whether they have done that or they didn't do that. If they didn't do that, well, there is no scientific proof to spiritual issues, so we will leave it as it is. But we are going there.
So was it a spiritual thing, or it was someone going to touch the beehive close to where an NDC meeting was happening?
No, but bee attack is not usually scientific. It's not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing.
It can also be physical, where if I see that you are gathered under a tree and I know that there's a beehive, I'll throw a stone, it will scatter.
No,
as a cowboy, we used to do that.
I am not talking about what you just stated.
So they were directed spiritually to go after your executives.
That is what I believe. And so now that it has happened, we will go back there prepared properly. We will go and win the seat.
Anyway, may the soul of your executive who died rest in peace. And thank you for speaking to us.
I am grateful to you, my brother.
That's Mustapha Gbandi. He's Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. Haruna Mohammed is Deputy General Secretary also of the NPP. You're welcome to Eyewitness.